No, sir, please.
Yeah, a very warm good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is doing good. Everyone is safe and sound. I welcome you on our fourth session of a webinar on the SPSS and research methodology. Today, our key speaker is Dr. Kalimullah Khan. So let me introduce Sir Kalimullah Khan, and then we proceed for today's session. So is my PPT visible, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. So Sir Kalimullah Khan is holding PhD in the field of organization behavior and development from the University of Sains, Malaysia. And I and Dr. Sarfaraz sir had privilege to work with Sir Kalim almost around, I personally had experience almost around 7 years with Sir Kalimullah Khan. So Sir Kalimullah is expert in the field of human resource management, and he is keen interested in education and pedagogy. Apart from that, Sir Kalim have published more than 20 research papers in international and national journals. And he have attended several international conferences on business management, importance of the quality education for economic development and prosperity. And presently, Sir Kalimullah Khan is associated with Kardan University from last 12 years. He is assistant professor in the field of research methodology. Along with that, he is keen to work in the field of green HRM, green leadership, high performance, environmental performance of the organization. This is very little about Sir Kalimullah Khan. Like there are so many things, like, if I start talking, I think it will take more than a day. So we won't discuss more about in detail, and you will get to know Sir Kalimullah Khan once today he started session. So let me give the platform to Sir Kalimullah Khan, and then sir will proceed for today's session. So welcome to everyone, and now platform to you, Sir Kalim.
Okay, thank you so much, Pramod. Thank you so much for the compliments and for the introduction. I welcome all the participants. Hopefully everyone is listening me properly. Is my voice clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so and my slides are also on, or Pramod, I need to manage the slides, or you are changing the slides?
Oh,
I will do it, huh?
Sir Sarfaraz?
Let presenter will do it. We will manage the question and all these things.
Yeah, just give me the right to change the slides and things, huh?
Yeah, you can do it, sir. You are the host now.
Okay, so is it visible now?
No.
Let me share this screen. Is it visible now?
Yeah, it is now coming. Yeah. Yes.
Hopefully everyone is watching the screen.
Yes.
Okay, so I welcome you all the participants, and thank you so much, Pramod and Dr. Sarfaraz, for the today's for the invitation. Today we are going to discuss statistical significance and Pearson correlation, single and multiple regression analysis. Exploratory factor analysis we will discuss tomorrow. So statistical significance. What exactly statistical significance is? If you study it statistically, so there will be mostly a kind of confusion that students face. However, I make it very simple for your understanding. Statistical significance means, so whenever we develop hypothesis, to link variables or to differentiate variables, meaning we either check differences between variables. For example, there is no difference in the leadership style between male and female. Or we check relationship in our hypothesis. For example, I say there is relationship between organizational justice and job satisfaction, suppose. So what exactly statistical significance meaning here is, how can we decide that the difference we observed or relationship we observed in the data, is it by chance or it has relationship? For example, if I say that organizational justice has relationship with job satisfaction, so question is, how can I come to know, or how can I conclude that it has relationship? We will conclude based on our significance level, which is mostly selected by 5% or 1%. So how can we conclude if it is significant, meaning if the value is less than 0.05? Simply, statistical significance tells us that the relationship or difference which the data shows to us, is it by chance or it is not by chance, or it has scientific evidence. So how can we come to know if our probability value is less than 0.05? We conclude that it is not by chance. We conclude that it has scientific evidence. But if our p-value is greater than 0.05, we conclude that it is by chance. It doesn't have any statistical evidence. So, in conclusion, without going other issues to look for from the statistical perspective, here its application is in management sciences or in other social sciences subjects. We test our hypothesis. What is a hypothesis? Any assumption which we develop and then we test to link two variables or to see differences between variables. So when we claim that there is a relationship between organization justice and job satisfaction, so how can we conclude that relationship exists or doesn't exist? How? Through p-value. So if p-value is less than 0.05, we say it has statistical significance, meaning relationship exists. If the value is greater than 0.05, we say relationship doesn't exist. And this is what we say statistical significance. Now we will work on Pearson correlation. And here I give you examples. The first statistical tool that we are discussing is the Pearson correlation. What is Pearson correlation? It is one of the statistical technique that check the variables relationship, but two variables relationship at the same time. Its value will be between -1 and +1. If the value is close to 0, it means there is no relationship. But if the value is close to +1, like 0.5, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, so we say there is positive relationship. What does it mean, positive relationship? It means one is increasing, another also increase. For example, if you say there is positive relationship between organization justice and job satisfaction, and our value is 0.856. So meaning if organization justice increases, so job satisfaction also increases. Same like if the value is negative, or correlation value, which we will do it now in SPSS. If the value is negative, it means that relationship is negative. A negative relationship means one increase, another decrease. This is what all about Pearson correlation. Now, for example, I make hypothesis and then we apply it in the SPSS. When we apply this one in SPSS, so SPSS gives us table like this. Here you can see how many variables we have: attitude, subjective norms, perceived behavior control, intention, and actual behavior. So attitude relationship with attitude will be 1. It means 100% it is same, like your relationship with your own self. So of course that will be 1. We check relationship of attitude with subjective norm. It is 0.697, positive relationship. Attitude relationship with perceived behavior control, 0.212. Attitude relationship with intention, 0.808. Attitude relationship with actual behavior, 0.606. So the highest positive relationship is between attitude and intention, that is 0.808. The second highest is 0.697. What I mean from the highest, I mean that it has strong relationship. Correlation will give you 3 types of relationship. One is weak, another one is moderate, and third one is strong. If the value is less than 0.5, for example, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, that is mostly considered weak relationship. And then suppose if it is 0.5, 0.6, that is moderate relationship. Greater than 0.7, that is mostly considered a strong relationship. So based on this table, attitude relationship with subjective norm is almost as moderate. Attitude relationship with perceived behavior control is weak. Attitude relationship with intention is strong, and attitude relationship with actual behavior is Hello, are you listening me?
Yes, sir. Please.
Pramod?
Yes, please continue.
Okay. So I was discussing the level of relationship, strong, weak. For example, if I develop hypothesis between attitude, subjective norm, perceived behavior control, intention, and actual, just for the example, I say that attitude has positive significant relationship to subjective norm. Then another hypothesis, H2, for example, attitude has positive relationship to PB, perceived behavior control. Then H3, for example, attitude has positive significant relationship to intention. And then H4, hypothesis for attitude has positive significant relationship to actual behavior. Now, if we do it in SPSS, so SPSS will give us this kind of result, which I will do it now. But how can we conclude? The question is, we should accept this hypothesis or reject this hypothesis. This is what we mean statistical significance. Attitude has positive significant relationship to subjective norm. This is what we claim based on literature. And we say attitude has positive and significant relationship to subjective norm. So we will see attitude relationship with the subjective norm, this one. It shows 0.697. So its relationship value is 0.697. But question is, we should accept this hypothesis or we should reject this hypothesis. We will not see this relationship value. It only tells us correlation value, the relationship value. This, the first line where you can see Pearson correlation, these values shows level of relationship, whether it is weak, moderate, or strong. For the statistical significance, what I mean from the statistical significance, for accepting or rejecting hypothesis, we will see significant value. Sig, you can see sig is mentioned here, this value. As I told you in the beginning, the statistical significance mean that whether this relationship, which is shown by this value, does this relationship really exist scientifically or it is by chance? So how can we conclude that it exists or it is by chance? Based on the statistical significance value. So statistical significant value will tell us that it has evidence scientifically, and that is why this level of relationship is scientific. It is not by chance. So if these values, if it is less than 0.05, meaning it has scientific evidence. So all the values you can see here is less than 0.05, and it means that this is 69% relationship. It shows 69.7% relationship, and it has scientific evidence. Similarly, and it is almost moderate relationship. This is weak relationship, but still it has scientific evidence. Why? Because it is less than 0.05. It has strong relationship, and it has scientific evidence because it is less than 0.05. And same like the actual. So coming to these hypotheses, we accept all hypotheses. These attitude has positive significant relationship to subjective norm. Attitude has positive significant relationship to control. Attitude has positive significant relationship to intention. Attitude has positive significant relationship to actual behavior. All these are accepted. Why? Because all these values are less than 0.05. So then accordingly, we explain that accordingly, we explain that attitude has subjective norm, it has positive relationship by 0.69 or 0.69%, and it is significant. It is also significant but weak. It is significant and strong. It is significant and moderate. For example, if you have made hypothesis regarding perceived behavior control and subjective norm, suppose you say that perceived behavior control has significant relationship to subjective norm. So here you can see it shows negative relationship, but its value is greater than 0.05. It is 0.471, greater than, meaning that this relationship we don't accept. We say this relationship is by chance. It doesn't have statistical significance. The same thing, how can we do it in SPSS? For example, now I say H1 IWE, Islamic work ethics has positive and significant relationship to job satisfaction. And H2, for example, organization justice has positive and significant organization justice has positive and significant relationship to job satisfaction. And same is, for example, there is third hypothesis, suppose we make, that is H3, and here we make organization commitment, that is organization commitment. Now doing it in SPSS, what steps are needed? For example, now I apply these things in SPSS. You can see, I'm sure you have gone through the basics of SPSS. Now, how can we do it in SPSS? We go to analyze, we click correlate, and then we click bivariate. All the variables that you entered appear here. Now I select my variables. What are those? That is Islamic work ethics and job satisfaction, organization justice and job satisfaction, and organization commitment and job satisfaction. So meaning 4 variables. Here you can see Islamic work ethics, job satisfaction, and then you have, for example, organization commitment and organization justice. Okay, one another point. For example, here you say that Islamic work ethics has positive and significant relationship. You do not claim positive here. Here you claim positive and significant. When you claim relationship, either it is positive or negative, so then you need to click one tail. One tail mean that you claim in your hypothesis that it has positive relationship or negative relationship. So if you mention positive and negative, meaning you are claiming one side relationship, positive or negative, then you select one tail. But if you say, but if you claim only, you do not write, for example, Islamic work ethics has significant relationship. You do not write positive and negative. You just say it has relationship. Question is, what kind of relationship? You do not mention it in your claim, in your hypothesis. So then you will select 2 tail. Here I select 1 tail now. Why? Because we claim here that it has positive relationship. And how can we know that whether I should go for 1 tail or 2 tail, which is also called directional, non-directional hypothesis? Literature, through literature, better is always that you go with directional if literature guide you. And of course, based on literature, we develop hypothesis. So here in the slides, you can see 2 tail is mentioned. But in my result, now it will show 1 tail. Why? Because I select 1 tail. Okay, so coming back to our hypothesis, this was hypothesis. Islamic work ethics has positive and significant relationship to job satisfaction. Organization justice has positive and significant relationship. So again, we have mentioned positive. So that's why we select 1 tail and then we click OK. You can see now Islamic work ethics relationship with Islamic work ethics will be 1. And Islamic work ethics relationship with job satisfaction is 0.490. It shows 49% relationship, and it is less than 0.000, less than 0.05. meaning we accept this hypothesis. We accept. Why? Because the p-value is less than 0.05. And how we came to know? Based on these value, this one. And it is how much? It is almost moderate relationship. 0.49 is almost 50%. Then we say, okay, Islamic work ethics has relationship with organization commitment. We see yes, 0.43, 43%. Is it statistical significant or insignificant? Statistical significant. What does it mean? Meaning it has scientific evidence. The relationship is supported. So it's less than 0.05. So we also accept our second hypothesis, this one. And same like third hypothesis. We also accept third hypothesis. Islamic work ethics has significant positive relationship to organization justice, or organization justice has positive significant relationship to Islamic work ethics, or job satisfaction, suppose. Here our hypothesis is job satisfaction. So organization justice, it shows values in 2 dimensions. Islamic work ethics relationship with Islamic work ethics and then with other variables. Similarly, the same is mentioned, job satisfaction is mentioned also here, and organization commitment also here, and organization justice also here. So all 3 hypotheses are accepted based on statistical significant values. So organization justice, Islamic work ethics with job satisfaction accepted, organization justice with job satisfaction accepted, organization commitment with job satisfaction accepted. This is correlation coefficient. I will listen to your question at the end. Our next issue is Pramod, should we listen questions now in this case? Then I will start regression, or completely at the end?
We will discuss all the question at the end, sir.
Okay.
At the end, right?
Okay. Okay, our next issue is regression analysis. So what till now what I discussed was statistical significance, and it is mostly, it tells us that whether the relationship or the difference you observe, is it by chance or it has statistical proof. So if our probability value is less than 0.05, we say that relationship is not by chance, it has statistical evidence. Pearson correlation, it gives us relationship between variables, and just now I showed you in SPSS. Now we have single and multiple regression. For example, you have model like you have 3 variables, independent variables. You have 3 independent variable and 1 dependent variable as an example. So the arrow always come from independent variable towards dependent. Okay. And here suppose your one variable is, suppose this is organization commitment. This is, for example, organization justice. And this is, for example, Islamic work ethics or other types of ethics. I write as an abbreviation here Islamic work ethics, and here job satisfaction. Now suppose this is your model and you want to see that how much these variables has effect or has influence on job satisfaction. How much organization justice has influence on job satisfaction, how much organization justice has influence on job satisfaction, and how much Islamic work ethics has influence on job satisfaction. And you want to see whether your model is significant or not overall. So you also develop these hypotheses, H1. For example, organization commitment. I use the word OC for organization commitment as an abbreviation, OC. You say has positive influence on job satisfaction. And then H2, organization justice. I use the word OJ. OJ has positive influence on job satisfaction. OJ, organization justice. And third one is H3. Here, Islamic work ethics has positive influence on job satisfaction. These are three hypotheses. And we want to see how much these three, each variable has effect on job satisfaction and how much these variables have collectively effect on job satisfaction. So which statistical technique will be used in SPSS or in any other software? That is regression analysis. If you have only one variable, then it is called single regression or simple regression. From the one variable, I mean, if you have only organization commitment, one independent and one dependent variable, then it is called simple regression analysis. But if you have many independent variable and one dependent variable in the first statistical generation analysis, so then we say multiple regression analysis. Okay, so suppose if we apply it in SPSS, SPSS will give us this kind of table. One, you can see model summary, one table. The second table is ANOVA, and third table is coefficient. If you want to know our model is significant or not, what our model is overall, this model, whether it is significant or not. So we check the ANOVA value, whether it shows significant relationship or not. So if our model is significant or not, meaning that what we claim and what we observe practically, we claim that these three variables has effect on job satisfaction. No, after that we collect data. So what we theoretically claim and what we practically observe, is it same or not? This is what we mean our model is significant or not. If it is same, it means our model is significant. If it is not same, our model is not significant. What we say and what we found in data are two different things. It means insignificant. So how can we come to know? Through ANOVA value. When we do it in SPSS, SPSS give this model summary table, this ANOVA and this coefficient. So this ANOVA, this red highlighted, you can see if this is significant, meaning that there is no difference. The model is significant. Model is significant.
Your voice is breaking, I believe, sir. Hello. I think there's some internet connectivity issue at Sir Kalim's end, right? So we just wait a few seconds. I believe he will rejoin, right? I think there's some connectivity issues, right? Just a couple of minutes, I believe. Yeah. I think Sir Kalim internet have gone, Sir Sarfaraz. Sir Sarfaraz, are you here?
Yeah, no, actually, I got the message from Sir Kalim that there is some internet issue. He's trying to reconnect.
Okay.
Meanwhile, if somebody has any questions, we can keep that questions. When he will reconnect, we can ask that is at the end.
That's great. Yeah.
But I also request participants to just be patient because it's only a connection issue. There is nothing more.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Pramod sir, Bipin sir have some questions.
Okay. Please, Bipin, sir, if you want to speak up, Sir Sarfaraz can unmute you.
Respected sirs, I have a question. So second slide, sir had told alpha value 5% or 1%. Now, if the value is between 5% or 1%, what happens then?
Okay, see, that is the significance. Sir have talked about the significant value, right? So it should be from 0 to 5%, right? So in that case, that says that value is significant and is a directly associated with one another variable. Right. More than that, it means there is an insignificant connection or insignificant association between variables. Right. So 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, right? If value comes in between that it means your the variable have a significant association or relationship with other variable. So in this slide, sir have given the correlation table as well. So in that correlation, the significant value came 0.000. It means that the relationship of one variable is significant associate with another one.
Okay. And
right, Vipin sir.
Okay, and what is two-tailed and single-tailed? You know, just I usually get confused in this terminology.
Okay, just a minute.
Can I give the answer of this one?
Sure, sir.
Yeah, actually, yesterday I told you about the hypothesis.
Yeah.
hypothesis when we are giving any direction, like we are saying that it is positive related to someone or negative related because of my theory is suggested that one. It means we are giving some direction, positive, negative, more, less. It means we are in one direction. So one tail we use. But if we are not giving any direction, in that case, we are using the two tail for that one.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
And we will then we can wait for Dr. Kalim. And if there is another questions from anyone till now, means like related with correlation, regression, we will try to give the answer for that. Okay. Now he's there. Let me, Dr. Kalim. Dr. Kalim. Yeah, now he's there. And let me. Yeah, now Karim Saab is there.
Hello, Pramod and Sarfaraz. Is my voice clear to you, to everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, sorry for disconnectivity. It was an internet issue. We were discussing the regression analysis, and the point where I left, so I was discussing the model R, model summary R square. So the first thing which I told you that if you want to see our overall model is significant or not, what does it mean? Meaning that whether what I have theorized in my model, theoretically what I claim, whether in the data the same thing I observed or not. So how can we come to know? Through ANOVA significant value. If it is less than 0.05, we say our model is significant, meaning what we theoretically model and what we observe in the data has been found same. Okay, the second thing, suppose if you want to know how much these three variables combinedly influencing job satisfaction, this one. So we see the R square, so it is 0.693. You can see the blue highlighted one, and it means that these three variables are significantly affecting job satisfaction. And how much it is? 69%. So 69.3%, these three variables are affecting job satisfaction. The third important point. First, I told you our model is significant or insignificant, that is ANOVA value. Then we see that how much these three variables have effect on job satisfaction, that is R square value, this one. And third one is the coefficient table. Coefficient table is used for individual variable significance. This organization commitment, organization justice, and Islamic work ethics. Meaning this path is significant or not, this path is significant or not, and Islamic work ethics with job satisfaction is significant or not. So, or in other words, we can say that we develop these hypotheses. Now we should accept or reject these hypotheses. So we need to see this coefficient table. In the coefficient table, you can see here the variables are changed. In this example, I will show you this other variables in this SPSS. Here you can see attitude, subjective norm, and perceived behavior control. The red highlighted you can see it shows you the significant value, and here yellow highlighted, it is showing standardized coefficient beta value. So in this significant value, which is coming under ANOVA table, it shows you the overall model significance, while the significant value in the coefficient table shows you individual variable. For example, separate each variable, like attitude is significant or not. So we say less than 0.05, it is significant. Similarly, subjective norm is also significant, and perceived behavior control is also significant. Which one is more important? Carry more influence? We need to see the standardized coefficient beta values, not standardized coefficient beta. Unstandardized coefficient beta value will be used by finance or the people who are dealing with secondary data. This standardized coefficient beta for primary research. Here you can see it is 0.607, it is 0.23, and it is 0.165. All three have significant relationship, and attitude is considered more important. The same thing which I theoretically explained now, suppose we do it for these variables now in SPSS: organization commitment, organization justice, Islamic work ethics, and job satisfaction. And these are our three hypotheses. So how is regression? And there we click analyze regression and linear. Dependent variable, you select here job satisfaction, and independent variable you have we have organization commitment, organization justice, organization commitment, then we have organizational justice, and then we have, suppose, Islamic work ethics. And we click OK. So the same thing I explained, we can see the first thing that we need to see is ANOVA table, because it tells us whether your overall model is significant or not. You can see under the table, dependent variable job satisfaction is mentioned, and predictors, which is also called independent variable, Islamic work ethics, organization justice, and organization commitment. We see it is less than 0.05, the significant value, meaning that what we claim and what we observe, it has statistical significance, meaning our model has statistical significance. And the second thing that we need to see is the model summary, which is R square, that is 0.41. What does it mean? Meaning that these three variables are affecting job satisfaction by 41%. Okay, and the last third one, we need to see the coefficient table, which is, you can see organization commitment scale, organization justice, and Islamic work ethics. We see standardized coefficient beta, this is 0.218, organization justice 0.306, Islamic work ethics 0.311. So we need to see whether we should accept or reject our hypothesis. Organization commitment has positive influence on job satisfaction. We will see. And now, how much is organization commitment? Yes, the value is positive, and it is significant also. That is 0.0. And organization justice has also positive and significant, which is also less than 0.05. Islamic work ethics 0.311, positive, shows positive, there is no negative sign, and it is also significant. So meaning all three hypotheses are accepted. So there were three variables, that's why we say multiple regression analysis. If there is only one, if there will be only one variable, then we see simple or single regression. Though multiple regression has also many other requirements in terms of data, for example, data normality. on collinearity and many other issues. But if there will be any question related to that, of course, I will welcome your question. But that was what we planned for today's. So you can allow them to ask questions.
Okay, that's great. So one person have question that what is the difference between R square and adjusted R square, and which one we should consider?
Okay, you should consider R square if you are not comparing models. Adjusted R square will be used when you want to compare two models. For example, in one of the model, you have these three variables, and then there is another model you might have included, for example, one variable, or you might have collected data from the different sample. Even the model is same, but sample is different, and you want to compare, then adjusted R square should be used. Commonly, R square should be considered. This R square. Is this clear? If models are compared, then adjusted R square is used. Adjusted R square is based on standard error, it is adjusted. Its practical use is to compare two or three models based on if you collect data from different samples or one of another model which you have theorized different variables in it, and you want to compare it, then adjusted R square. You just want to see whether the adjusted R square is coming same or not. Yes. Another question?
Yeah, sir, another question we have. Do we consider coefficient as percentage or absolute values?
When do we consider coefficient as percentage or absolute values? In primary that these coefficients are taken as books, you will see that it tells you 1% change. However, in the primary data, this concept is 1 unit change or 1% change that is possible in secondary data, but that is not logical in the primary data. So that's why we take the absolute value and we take the value which is the highest one. We consider that one is more important.
Kalim sir, I think there was some voice breaking at your end. So could you repeat once again?
Okay. In primary data, we take the absolute value because in secondary data, when you take the values, so you say 1% change in independent variable is bringing that many changes in the dependent variable. So that can make sense in the secondary data, but in primary data, it doesn't make sense to take it as a percentage. So in primary data, we take standardized coefficient beta values as an absolute, and we see which value has, which variable has highest value, and we consider that one is more important. So in primary data, it is considered as an absolute value.
Okay. One question we have from Sir Aftab. Sir, how can we differentiate observed value and result value?
Observed value, result.
Observed value and result value.
From the resulted value, what he says, the p value, resulted value, what value he's talking about, Dr. Aftab?
Dr. Aftab, could you clarify the question once again?
If you can allow him, he will speak, and then I will properly understand what he.
Sir Sarfraz, please allow him to speak.
Hello. Good morning, sir. Really, it's a nice. I am just getting everything to the point, but one I will just joined a bit late, so I have some confusion about it. Like you said about uh, calculated value and observed value. That's when the result actually is the what is actually the references. Just I want to get.
What I actually got from your question is actually we just compare what we theorize in our model, like what we theoretically say. For example, we see this one, that organization commitment, organization justice, and Islamic work ethics has effect on job satisfaction. This is what we develop our own model. Now, this is what we theoretically model. We hypothesize or we theorize it in our model. But then we see in our real observed data. What is our observed data? The data which we collect through questionnaire or to any other form. Then we link them whether it is same thing or not. What we say theoretically and what we found practically in our data, is it same or not? So how can we come to know? I explained that through ANOVA that our overall model is significant or not. So this significant value under ANOVA table, if it is less than 0.05, so then we mean that what we theorize and what we observed, it is same thing. It means our model has significance, statistical significance. It means, in very simple words, that our model has scientifically proved to support the influence of independent variable on dependent variable, which we model theoretically. I would listen some other question if you have, Dr. Aftab. I will welcome your questions or any other thing that may be in your mind.
Thank you, sir. If anyone have any question, we can proceed with it. Anyone, you can raise hand or you can type.
Sir, there is one question which come to my messenger. If allow, I can ask that one. Somebody is asking that one. Pramod sir, can I ask from that one?
Please.
Yeah, one password is sent directly to the messenger. It is not there in chat box. So he's saying that, can you please repeat the ANOVA and coefficient table, how we will read it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. For example, this is our model, and when we analyze it in SPSS, so we get these tables: model, summary, ANOVA, and coefficient. Is my voice clear?
Yes, sir.
Are you listening me?
Somehow is breaking in between, but like, you know, we are
Pramod, are you listening?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so ANOVA. Okay, so ANOVA table tells us that your overall model is significant or not. So if this value is less than 0.05 under SIG column, meaning our model is significant. What does it mean in very simple words? It means that the model which we have developed theoretically, we claim that this is our model, these are independent variables and it has effect on dependent variable. So practically what the data says, what we practically observe. So if it is less than 0.05, mean that what we theoretically claim and what we observe is same. And by how much? By 69%. So we theoretically claim that these three variables are affecting job satisfaction. In the ANOVA table, we see whether it is significant or not. So we found yes, it is significant. When coming to the coefficient table, beta values and significant. If significant value is less than 0.05 for all variables like organization commitment less than 0.05, organization justice less than 0.05, Islamic work ethics is also less than 0.05. So meaning it says that it has relationship. And how much it has relationship, positive or negative, we see standardized coefficient beta. This is 0.218, this is 0.306, this is 0.311. So which variable has more influence? Based on these values, we will conclude. So 0.31, that is Islamic work ethics. Suppose there is another variable which has greater value than this, like 0.41, then it has more influence. So we accept or reject our hypothesis. These one, organization commitment has positive influence on job satisfaction. We see yes. How we come to know? We come to know from organization commitment positive. Now see, this is 0.218, not minus 0.218. And it has statistical significance. How? It is less than 0.05. Same, this is also positive and less than 0.05. This is also positive and less than 0.05. And in the beginning, I explained to you what is less than 0.05, what is statistical significance. So statistical significance means that whether this relationship or this effect is by chance or it has statistical proof. So if it is less than 0.05, the significant value, we say it is not by chance. It has influence and it is based on data. Yes. Any other question?
Yeah, if anyone have any question, we can ask from Sir Kalim. No question? Okay. So, Sir Sarfaraz, if no one have question, we can wind up the session for the day. Is that?
Yeah, we can wind up for the day, and also for the tomorrow. What is the plan for the Karim Saab will say, and then we can close for the session.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, inshallah, we will discuss exploratory factor analysis. That is, one is confirmatory and one is exploratory factor analysis. So we will discuss exploratory factor analysis at the same time. Yeah, I will welcome your question of the participants if there is anyone for today's session. So well and good. If not, then we may see tomorrow.
Okay. So first of all, thank you, Sir Dr. Kalim, that you have taken time. And I think we have one question from Dr. Bashir, right? We can have the last question. Yeah.
Yes. Can you hear me, please?
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Kalim, and all the team who organized this special session. Actually, I am really happy and appreciate the way you forward. And I will ask, actually, my question is not related to today's session. My question is general. So I'm just requesting, you know, everything depends about the availability of time, but this is very, very, very good idea. If you get any time in the future, such kind of, especially our students and scholars are facing difficulty on the research analysis and data analysis. So I am requesting, if you get time, please, if you continue in the future, and then if you also set up a platform that we as university scholars can get the advantage of such kind, and if you can arrange in the future. That is my comment actually. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bashir. Yes, it's a beginning, and definitely we will have a series of sessions in coming days, right? So we love to have such kind of feedback as well. So definitely we will have series of events, and you will be invited and your colleague will be definitely invited, right? And apart from that, yes, those who are asking PPT and recording, yes, PPT will be shared, and recording definitely I'll ask Sir Sarfaraz, but PPT definitely will be shared to every participants, right?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we'll wind up today's session with a very good note. Thank you, Dr. Kalim, for taking time from your busy schedule. We really appreciate whatever you have contributed today is outstanding, and I am sure that all the participants have received the depth knowledge of the today's session. So thank you so much, and definitely, and thank you so much to every participant for being with us during the full session. And definitely we'll meet tomorrow once again with a new topic, and that's it from our side. Thank you so much, Sir Kalim.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Take good care.
Thank
Take
you.
good care.
Thank you. Have a good day. Sir Sarfaraz, over to you.
So thank you very much, Pramod sir and Dr. Kalim sir and all the participants. And now we will meet tomorrow at 11 o'clock for more knowledge. And thank you very much. So let me end for the session.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Take good care, everyone.